Sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the media. I welcome you to this media interaction. As is usual, we will begin with a few brief opening remarks by the two ministers. I invite the External Affairs Minister of India, Shri SM Krishna, to make his opening remarks.
His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Foreign Minister of the United Arab Emirates, friends from the media. This is for the third time His Highness, the Foreign Minister of the United Arab Emirates, and I are meeting in less than a year. It is an indication of the priority that we attach to each of us to our bilateral relations. Today we focus particularly on our economic ties. We discussed the forthcoming third India-Arab Economic Conclave to be hosted in Abu Dhabi on 21st, 22nd May 2012, and the proposed roadshow on investment in Abu Dhabi and Dubai that Indian officials intend to undertake in June, so as to exchange information and clarify issues related to the investment climate in India. The United Arab Emirates is our largest trading partner, significant contributors to our energy security. Our hosts for about 1.75 million Indian expatriates. The United Arab Emirates leadership is now keen to address the issue of investments to bring it on par with the multifaceted relations we enjoy in all other sectors. I am happy to inform you that the two governments have decided to set up a high-level joint task force to explore further opportunities in the area of investments. His Highness Sheikh Habib bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Managing Director of the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, and our Commerce and Industries Minister, Shri Sharma, will be leading the respective sides of the high-level task force. Our bilateral relations have now acquired a new momentum and are progressing towards a comprehensive partnership for the mutual benefit of our two countries. Thank you.
I now request His Excellency, the Foreign Minister of the UAE, to make his opening remarks.
Good afternoon. Dear friend and dear colleague, Mr. Krishna, I'm very honored to be back here in Delhi and visiting India. The relationship between our two countries belongs for a period where it's prior to the existence of our two nations as we know it. The people relationship between our two countries is for centuries, and we are very eager that we can even further facilitate this relationship in all means and forms. It's extremely important to see the frequent flights between our two countries, the trade extending $50 billion This year, the UAE is the fourth largest supplier of crude oil to India. We have almost 2 million Indians visiting and living in the UAE. We're very proud of that. I think there is a lot we could do. I'm very delighted that both our governments have reached to an agreement on having a joint investment task force with very senior officials on both sides. We are working together not only in developing our investments in India, but in looking at future investments in India. India is not only a very important ally and a neighbor to the UAE, but it's a booming economy worldwide. There is a potential of $1 trillion of investment in India in the next 5 years. India is looking for half of that amount to come from abroad. We would very much like to see a strong UAE presence in that. Minister, you visited the UAE on the 16th of April. We had a very good visit. You rightly mentioned that this is our third meeting the last year. It's extremely important that we can keep in touch on bilateral relationship between our two countries, but also in exchanging our views in a very dynamic region that both of us live in. And I'm sure we will have even more time during lunch to discuss developments in the peace process between Israel and Palestine, discuss the Iranian nuclear file, discussing the security in the Arabian Gulf, discussing the very vibrant and developing relationship in the last couple of months, which we very much pleased about, between Pakistan and India, discussing the future of Afghanistan. We will have also the opportunity to talk about the importance of securing access, maritime access in the Gulf of Aden, stabilizing and supporting the government in Somalia. So there is a huge agenda in front of us, both on investment, trade, but also on security and political matters. Your Excellency, once again, thank you very much for your kind words, and thank you very much for your robust support for the relationship between our two countries, and I really hope that we could meet again soon and report to the media even further developments in the relationship.
The two ministers have agreed to take a few questions. Let me begin with Mr. Bipindra from IANS.
This question is to the Indian External Affairs Minister. There have been plans of increasing oil imports from UAE. Have you discussed this issue with your counterpart, and what is the result of it?
Well, India's economy is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. And as a result of that, the need for increased import of oil and other energy sources is of extreme critical importance to us. And in United Arab Emirates, we have a dependable supplier of oil, which India needs so badly. In 2010, we imported 12 million tons, and in 2011, we increased it to 14 million tons. So this would be the indication at the rate at which our imports from UAE is going up. And it is basically our refineries which make decisions on import of oil. And they are based on technical, economical and commercial considerations. Given the United Arab Emirates advantages on both these fronts, it is likely that this trend of UAE continues to meet our needs of energy security will be maintained. We also discussed the possibilities of cooperating not only increase in oil imports, but also investment opportunities in this sector. The task force on investments will certainly look into this matter also.
Ms. Shohrat Arif from MENA.
The EU is an important source of energy to India. Do you intend to increase your exports to India coming period?
Well, as you know, the UAE is a large exporter and we keep on trying to improve our capacity when it comes to production and export. Many of our Egypt, we don't only try to increase our exports, but also to diversify our own ways where we use our own resources. That's why we invest very heavily in renewable energies. We are trying to invest in nuclear energy so we can offset further of our capacity to the world market. No doubt we would like to see more UAE energy exports to India, especially when it comes to crude oil. I believe as we speak there are talks between our officials and looking at these venues. But even further, as Mr. Krishna rightly mentioned, we would like to see UAE presence in downstream investments in India when it comes to petrochemical, energy production, etc. So it's not only a step that we would like to take today, but there are several steps down the road that we would like to develop among our two countries.
Mr. Ashok Sharma.
Given the existing cooperation between the two countries, I would like to ask both the ministers, any possibility of jointly tackling the maritime piracy in a very specific manner?
Well, we attach great importance to working with all other countries, including United Arab Emirates, to counter this scourge of piracy in the high seas. When I visited Abu Dhabi last month, we had very extensive discussions on this issue. Both of us have agreed that our officials will work together and cooperate on tackling this menace collectively. We intend to share our knowledge our intelligence and cooperate effectively on this issue with United Arab Emirates, so that we as a group could tackle this cause.
Resolving piracy will not come unless we can resolve Somalia. It's very important that at a time where we face piracy in the Gulf of Aden and beyond, actually, which I very much pleased that the UAE and India are working very closely on. It's key where we can resolve the source of this problem, which is the lack of governance, of government, of unity, of the void that's been created in Somalia. We're working very closely with the central government in Mogadishu, but also with local governments in Somalia, where we could further not only help and support, but try to get them together and beyond by engaging with the African Union in helping Somalia in supporting many of their difficulties, let alone poverty and drought. But beyond that, where we can help them building their capacity in every way and form. That's the only way where we can make sure that the source of piracy is resolved. And here also the help that and the cooperation between our two countries to Somalia, to the African Union, is vital and key.
Last question, Ms. Geeta Mohan, Times Now.
Good afternoon. My question is to the External Affairs Minister of India. It's on a very different issue, sir. Over thousands of Indians are stranded in Angola. What's the government been